Hey guys, my name is Love86. I'm one of the mods on the POEGuy Discord server. He's the creator of the Siege Ballista Hierophant deck stacking build, and this thing is fantastic. I'm on a character that has just freshly transitioned, and we're going to do a quick map showcase to show new players what to expect, right? So I've got all of the deck stacking gear. I've got the bow, the helmet, the quiver. I've got boots and the budget amulet that he was recommending. I've got my breast strap with 5 links. Oh yeah. And the gloves that he said were mandatory. I followed the tree that he laid out pretty much exactly, right? And yeah, we're gonna just go into the map. See how it goes. Oh my god. That what the hell? Yeah, well, I mean, this map isn't super hard, right? Monsters deal physical damage as fire. Like, that's not bad. Wither, monster life, I mean, that's it's not bad mobs, right?
Must have time to go.
What the hell? Okay, that's like, I mean, that's like a tier 10 yellow map. I can see why cast on death portal is part of the build. Okay, so first things about the build. You are a bow user, so keep in mind that your best defense is movement. The fact that you are quite fast, that you project damage across the screen, the fact that you can drop your totems and move around. So as you move, make sure that you are moving diagonally to packs, because otherwise you'll get shotgunned by projectiles that are coming in. Use your totems to block things that are coming at you. Don't stand directly in front of stuff that is liable to kill you. So everything that we're going to talk about in this video, the video is going to be over an hour long. I highly recommend that you use timestamps to jump to the relevant section. More than likely, me or somebody that's on the Discord pointed you towards this video in order to help a specific thing. So go ahead and use the timestamps to jump to that specific thing. Okay, what are we doing? We are a dex stacking Hierophant, and that means that we need to stack Dexterity. The levels that we have our Dexterity at are going to dictate how much damage and comfort the build does and has. It's going to affect the amount of attack speed that you have. It's going to affect the amount of damage that you do, and it's going to drastically affect the amount of damage that you do. It's going to affect the amount of movement speed you have. All kinds of things are going to come from this dexterity stat, and that's going to be our main focus. You beat the campaign, you went through it real quick, and you should have gotten a lot of passives from it. If you type /passives into the chat box, it will tell you all of the quests that you have completed and how many passives that you have gained or missed from it. So right here you can see that I missed the Cloven one and I missed Gemlin Legion. And I can just go back and check. Gemlin Legionnaires, I actually did complete this, and I just didn't turn it in because I was moving through the campaign really quickly, and I never talked to this NPC. So, passive point, and Cloven one. Again, you've defeated Abarath. Talk to Bissell for your reward. I never went back to town after I beat it. I went straight through, and it's missing passive points. So we just got 2 passive points just literally for typing in /passives.
This is neither the time nor the place.
Next, go and make sure that you actually completed your transition. That you respec out of all the things that you needed to respec out of. There's an area on POB that lights up like a highlighter, but you're looking at it right now, and I bet you can't tell because this point right here blends into this background. Make sure you unspec it. It's an extra point that you can use towards something else in your build. This is usually my biggest pain point, is player flasks are abysmal. This is like campaign level stuff. This doesn't have any mods on it. This is like a cool flask, right? But it's scaling armor, and you know what? 51% increased armor would give us. Where's armor? Do you guys see armor? So this flask that's giving you armor scaling is giving you nothing. This flask that's giving you chaos resistance and reduced effect of shock on you during effect, you're using purity of elements. It has a line that reads, "You and nearby allies are immune to all elemental ailments." This suffix of reduced effect of shock on you literally does nothing for us. Same here. First of all, why are you running 2 life flasks? Don't run 2 life flasks. You only need 1 life flask. And immunity to ignite and burning, again covered by our purity of elements. This flask doesn't have a prefix. How come? The corrupted blood immunity, by the way, right on. That's what you want to run. We don't care what the we do care what the prefix is on these, and we can literally just roll them like this. Oi. And what we're looking for on the flask is immunity to bleeding and corrupted blood right there. The flasks that we do want is we want armor. Believe it or not, we don't have any source of armor other than here. We want to start with these. By the way, I'm on standard. Don't look at this stash. We want these things to give us benefits. Right there, 53% increased critical strike chance during effect. That's fantastic. Let's go ahead and give it a prefix. Slap it right in. For the flasks, we are looking for, God, during the during the new league, there's going to be a hold alt to press augment. Man, I'm looking forward to that. So there's only a few things that we really want. We want evasion rating and increased effect is a fantastic prefix. We want critical strike chance. We might want the additional elemental ailment and we're looking for movement speed. 8 is a little bit low. Beautiful. The flask bases that you want are Quicksilver, Jade, Granite, and you can have a flexible slot in here. It can either be Diamond, it can be Sulfur, it can be a defensive flask like a Stiptine for more evasion. But basically you want to have something in here. If you don't have any chaos resistance other than this flask on your build, this flask does nothing for you. The the minus 35% or the plus 35% chaos resistance that you get is you're still going to be negative. Just avoid chaos instead of trying to build into this and potentially not having a good time. Now when we summon, you can see the green arrows going out with the frenzy. And if we're lucky, you'll see, oh my god, that guy murked me. But we were seeing the frostbite curse on the enemies. The cast on critical strike setup as a 4-link is going to be Frenzy, Mana Forged Arrows, cast on critical strike support, and Frostbite. The Frostbite is very much needed. You can then socket into a 5-link the Summon Ice Golem, and then into your final 6-link is going to go the Frostbomb. I keep hovering over this Iron Commander, and I want to point out something about the uniques on this build. The build requires a lot of uniques that give you a lot of power. A lot of these uniques have very wide roll ranges as far as what can roll onto them, and it matters. All of the uniques are a chaos or 2 chaos or 5 chaos, whatever. The point is, you might be missing out on vital stats that you can fix for free, or for nearly free, by just being mindful of what you purchase before you purchase it. So if something has a higher roll and it costs a chaos more, get it. On this Iron Commander, the 2 important stats are increased attack speed and the increased critical strike chance at the top, the implicit. The increased attack speed rolls from 14 to 20. You won't really want to be at 19 or 20. It literally costs 1 chaos to get it there. To get a bow that already has the 19 or 20%. If you posted a POB that has a bow that has 14%, most likely I'm going to tell you need to replace that bow. It's not a priority. It's not an ASAP, but the base attack speed of 1.42 on here is what the increased attack speed for everything else on the build scales. So having a higher base, having it at 1.5 because it's 20% is really nice. Similar with the critical strike chance. Now that is something that you can fix really easily with Blessed Orbs. These are like 10 to a chaos, and you just want to click until you have it as close to 50% as possible. Again, you see that my critical strike chance is now 7.40. That is the base critical strike chance that this flask is scaling with 100%, and this flask is scaling with the 53%, and our tree is totally not scaling with these nodes. Like, all of that scales off of that number. So making sure that you hit a couple of Blessed Orbs on your Iron Commander to make sure that you're as close to that 50%, super important for your damage and for how often the cast on crit actually triggers and gets all of the good stuff out. On to the next item, the helmet. There's 2 important things on here. The roll range for the critical strike multiplier from 25% to 40%. You really care. 15% crit multi is a pretty big number. We're like jumping across the tree to get 40%, and here for 1 chaos you could have done that for yourself already. So if you have one that's corrupted with like +2 level of aura skills, and you have 28% or 25% or anything that's less than 35%, it's better to have one that's not corrupted and has something that's close to 40%. So we are going to move our auras into this helmet. so that we get that free, sweet extra crit multiplier. The other thing that's important on this helmet is it says 15% increased dexterity if strength is higher than intelligence. You have to keep your strength higher than intelligence in order to get our dexterity. This is where we're going to start scaling past this number of 817. The comfort levels for Siege Ballista are you really want to start the build at around 1,000, maybe 1,200 in order to feel lacking but able, if you know what I mean. Like, you can do things, and it's not the S show that was displayed in the previous map where you're getting bopped and you can't kill anything. So getting this number up to about 1,200 will get you at that transition point where you're in about yellow maps, early red maps. At 1,200, you won't really be comfortable, but you will be able to do the content. At 1,400, you can do early red maps. At 1,600, you're okay in red maps. At 1,800, you're blasting red maps, and at 2K, you're blasting everything. So let's go ahead and fix the fact that our intelligence right now is higher than our strength. And how are we going to do that? Well, we had to take this intelligence node in order to get the 10 required intelligence that I need to wear my gear. Okay, now that I need the 10 intelligence, something's red. It's the bow, and it requires 148 intelligence because of a gem. It's this gem, Frostbomb. In the POEGuy's guide for Siege Ballista, he tells you that you need to keep this gem level 1. So if we go ahead and click this out, we get an Orb of Regret. I clicked out the wrong gem. Frostbomb, this one. Suddenly everything is green again because now I only have a 95 dex requirement, 95 int requirement. We go to Lily Roth, we give her an Orb of Regret and our Frostbomb, and we get a level 1 Frostbomb. Now we don't have a crazy intelligence requirement. You see, I took out the intelligence point and I'm still fine. Later in the league, you'll fix this by having an Astramentis. An Astramentis for the first few days is going to be expensive. You're going to be on this amulet, the Hyrri's Truth. The Astramentis is here to fix your intelligence issues and your strength issues and give you all of the balance that you need for a small price. So make sure that your strength is higher than your intelligence, 141 over 138, and now instead of 817 dexterity, we now have 912 by literally taking a point out of our tree and dropping a gem down. Go ahead and move on to amulet slot. The Hyrri's Truth is the recommended budget item for the amulet. Again, this is a 1 chaos item, but again, be mindful of the roll range. Look at this thing. It's got 40 to 80 as a roll range, and again, that crit strike multiplier has a huge range as well. It's gonna again cost you 1 chaos to get one that has closer to 80 dexterity in the implicit. You don't care about the closer to 80 in the explicit. On the implicit, you can just click a blessed orb. My god, I'm hitting everything on that one, and re-roll it to 30 dexterity, but you can't do the same with the other rolls, the crit multi and the dex. So you do want to get one that is closer to 79%, 47%, like this is fantastic, and you hit a Blessed Orb. Don't forget to do the Anoint, the Divine Judgment Anoint. It's really, really cheap. Where is this thing? It's a sepia, a teal, and a black oil. These are going to be something that you might already have picked up if you're following the POEGuy Atlas progression with Blight. This is going to be 50% increased elemental damage. Don't skip out on it. It's really cheap. It's very effective to get free damage onto your build. Oh, this thing looks like a disaster now. So, for the Hyrri's Truth, you may not want to catalyze it right away. It's up to you. If it's day 1, 2, or 3, and you have additional chaos that you can spend towards attributes, this is an effective piece that is going to give you, for the plus 20, it's going to give you a lot of dexterity back. So just fixing the low roll on the amulet and giving away a point of intelligence has boosted us up to 1,000 dexterity now. Okay, taking a glance at the rest of the gear, we are looking now at, we're going to be looking for things that are low rolled. We're a dexterity stacker. We want to have high rolled T1 dexterity on every piece, and it's going to be the easiest way that you can boost yourself up is going to be just getting dexterity. That's T1 on every piece. 36 dexterity is not enough. 36 dexterity is not enough, and this doesn't have any dexterity on it, and this doesn't have any dexterity on it. So let's go ahead and go in order. We will go ahead and pull out some essences, and when we are fixing our rings, first of all, double check the market. Check for something that has the T1 dexterity that has a resist, that's T1, T2, T3, whatever, and that has life. You can craft life, or you can make your own rings fairly easily. Our gloves have 24 cold dexterity on them, so grabbing bases that are 2 stone rings with fire and lightning will help us keep that in balance just in case. Let's go ahead and smack these guys with a Blessed Orb just to get them up to the 16% resists. There's no reason not to, and we only need a couple of clicks for each of them. Look at this, fantastic. To get the T1 dexterity, a good resist, and we can craft life. Look at this, intelligence. I don't think we have room to craft life, but this is actually terrible. Also terrible. Okay, so we've got a resistance, we've got intelligence that will help us keep balance up until we get an Astramentis, and we have room to craft life. So, goodbye. Something that has an actual implicit is going to take your place. Goodbye. Oh, craft life. How's that? Bam. It's got dexterity, intelligence, cold, and life. Everything we need. And same on the belt. We want to use a Stygian Vice because it has the abyssal socket that gives us an opportunity for more stats. Our belt right now, like, look at this thing. Fantastic. High rolled on everything, but it doesn't have any dexterity on it, so it literally takes a click to get the dexterity that we want. We do kind of want to get strength on the belt as well, but you know, take what you can get on a budget. So now we have we've lost strength. Yikes. See, this is why you need to keep balance. So, do we need to roll strength on our belt? Or can we click this and be okay? Yeah, see, there we go. 30 plus 30 strength from here fixes the fact that we don't have it anywhere else. Now, let's actually go ahead and fix that. So, first things first, how come you're not taking this? This precision node right here, it's plus 20 dexterity. You're getting a little bit of life here, for sure. It's nice. But let's pick up dexterity. Oh, by the way, after the changes with the belt, this is in the rings. This is where we're sitting right now. I was like 5 essences for 2 rings and a belt. Let's go ahead and pick up the basic jewels locket, and let's take a look at this area right here. What are we actually getting? All elemental resistances, evasion rating, and armor. Remember, we don't give poop about armor up until we have something that gives us armor, and this gives us life and life. Our resists aren't in the best place, but they are okay. Let's turn on our purity of elements, our grace, and our automation, and take another glance. Look at that. What is that? 224% cold resist? Jesus Christ, where's that even coming from? Everywhere. Coming from everywhere. I got it. I understand. So let's go ahead and change up our tree so that we have a little bit less of resistances, because holy moly, we don't need that. That cold resistance doesn't have to live on us. We're going to use those points towards dexterity. Okay, pathing up to finesse, fantastic, because we didn't really lose anything here. There could have been a dexterity node here if it was a brutal restraint in this area, but there isn't because you're on a low budget. So moving these points over here, totally fine. These life nodes, they can just go straight up right here. There's our same life nodes. $20 strength. How good are we on strength? We're okay on strength, right? Not enough. So, what can we do to fix strength? Well, we're a dex stacker, so let's look for jewels that will give us dexterity and strength. These things, like increased flask duration, does not matter. Attack speed while holding a shield, I ain't got no shield. What I care about is that this has 24 dexterity, 14 from the explicit, and 10 from strength and dexterity. This is really strong. Okay? That 24 is giving us way more. And we're able to fix our strength, because now I can do this. And I can use these points over here, to do what? To get more dex. So trying to cheat in all of these little ways to do things is fantastic. This right here is giving us strength, totem life, reservation, can't be corrupted blood. Fantastic. Does not give us any dexterity. So let's go ahead and get another 1C jewel to fit into the slot. Again, damage while holding a shield, don't care. A flask effect duration, don't care. What is this giving us? Life, fire and cold, which we're just crazy over. Bow damage, which is nice, but we don't care about fire. Life, which is nice. Global crit multi. This is a great jewel. Doesn't give us any dexterity though, or intelligence. So, you know what we're gonna do? Boink. Also, we'll address this in a second. How many of these do I have? Dexterity and intelligence. Do I have them anywhere else? Oh, look at that. Again, because I'm on standard, I have access to these because I have done this build a lot. I have access to these. On League Start, they will be 1 Chaos, 2 Chaos, 3 Chaos if you're looking for something that has 23 plus Dexterity on it. Make sure that you're dex stacking in every slot. Low rolled uniques, once again, in these slots with the fluid motions, make sure that you are using 24s, 22s. There's no reason for you to cheap out and pay 1 Chaos for this, but not 2 Chaos for this. Okay? 1 Chaos, 2 Chaos. So please try to use the appropriately rolled jewels in every slot. Make sure that you have dexterity, as much dexterity as possible on every slot. Dexterity, intelligence, dexterity, 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 dexterity stacker. Okay, so these are a handful of chaos apiece. Wow, we even have 3 points left over. This is fantastic. So pathing is going to be the way to solve a lot of your issues. Still can't. Make sure that you balance around that. You can cheat out more decks when you are close to a breakpoint, right? So let's say that you're... Can't do that. So let's say you're right here, right? This wheel gives you 6 life, 6 life, 10 life, and you know what? There's 10 dexterity right here that you can be flexible on. It's not super recommended, but you can pick up 10 dexterity instead of 6% life if you're really close to a breakpoint and you need to get there. Move on to common mistakes on the tree. So some things that I see people doing or not doing is the cluster. They will get this conception that you must have the Sleepless Sentries and the Ancestral Reach together. Ancestral Reach is a quality of life node. When you're in early levels, you don't really want to pick up quality of life yet. What you do care about is the fact that because this is 5 passives, the shortest pathway to this small jewel cluster is 1, 2, 3. You have a lot of strength in the tree, so we're fine with this thing being just Sleepless Sentries, and not having the quality of life from the Ancestral Reach, because we want to reclaim those points. Because if it was on a 4 passive, it's going to be 1, 2, 3 in order to get to this socket. This one, right? And where are we sitting right now? 14. Okay. So let's look at where we are now. So we've got Dexterity in all of the slots that we can. We've got these well rolled. We're sitting at 2,300 health, which is quite low. Our body armor doesn't have any life on it, so this is, again, straight up out of the guide, but go ahead and click this life mastery. It's going to give you 15% maximum life if there's no life modifiers on the equipped body armor. That's you. That's this guy right here. First, we're going to see if we can finish clearing this map. Again, we are going to be casting Frostbomb, Rage, Blood Rage, and Summon Ice Golem manually. We're going to make sure that we have all of our auras on.
My mana is spent.
And see how we do. We don't want to level up the Frostbomb. And you can see that the build is already performing quite admirably, right? This is pretty decent. So, whereas before we were getting instantly bopped and everything was bad, this T10 is now very, very manageable. Early maps with the build are also going to be fairly manageable. At 1400, 3k life is still really, really low. 1400 is still really, really low. But at least we have Flasks. We've got our friend the Ice Golem, and we've got Blood Rage going. We've got all of our automation going. I'm not going to take the the speech right. That would be a little bit of cheating. And whenever we see a big boss, we back up, we drop our totems, and we throw our Frostbomb down, and they disappear. As you can see, I'm not really dodging anything anymore. I can just blast through stuff, mostly. Things die, right? So the build works, it's pretty good. And this is, this is day 1 gear. This is maybe a 25, 30, 40 chaos investment that we've put into this. So, still basically nothing.
Fight, fight, fight!
And it's already having no issues with Maven Witness bosses.
Life is so brittle. Twin terrors!
So remember, we are making sure that we have our Ice Golem up because he's manual. We're making sure that we have our Frostbomb up on the bosses when we're at bosses or big targets, and we're making sure that our Blood Rage is up. I'm going to wrap for the day right now. It's Wednesday. I'll have to come back to finish the show and tell for the higher stuff tomorrow, I suppose. But for you guys, it's going to be instant. Hey guys, this is Editing Love from the future. While the video is rendering in the background, I realized something. I forgot to go over a huge chunk of bait. Very important bait. Corrupted items are bait. So getting a siege commander or an iron commander with a corruption means that, like, look at this thing. This thing's wild, right? 17% increased critical strike chance. Bow attacks fire an additional arrow. Holy moly, that's amazing, right? Poised Prism, bow attacks fire an additional arrow. Rain of Splinters, totems fire 2 additional projectiles. Dying Sun, 2 additional projectiles during effect. Do you know how many projectiles that is? It's a whole lot of projectiles. Do you know how much that's going to do for you? Not a whole lot. Reason being, it's not going to do a lot for you because Siege Ballista doesn't shotgun. It fires projectiles in a spread, and that spread is dictated by the number of projectiles that you're shooting out. If 2 of your projectiles hit the same target from the same totem, they don't do any extra damage. Do not get baited into extra projectiles unless you know exactly what you're doing. I'm going to just leave it at that. Do not get baited into rings with corrupts that have the dexterity implicit. They're straight up bait. They're never going to have good enough stats for you to have on them. Like, this thing doesn't even have any flat dexterity. Do not fall for the bait of a corrupted Hrimsorrow with a curse on hit. The curse on hit from the gloves will trigger every time that your frenzy goes out, but your frenzy is not going to trigger the frostbite every time it goes out, and the Hrimsorrow will overwrite with the enfeeble on hit. It will overwrite your frostbite. The frostbite's level 19, 20, whatever. It's going to have minus 35% cold resistance, but this thing is going to give you nothing. It will destroy your DPS. And that kind of wraps it up for the bait. Don't go for projectile bait. Projectiles are bait unless you know what you're doing. Don't go for corrupted Hrimsorrows. Don't go for corrupted rings. Watch out for belts that don't have the ability to roll up to 18%. And that's all. Thank you. Oh, do look out for these guys. Attacks have 0.8% critical strike chance. That adds additively to the 7.4 on your bow. Do look for those. Those are awesome. Hey guys, we're back. Well, I mean, I'm back. It's the next day. You guys just transitioned straight on through from me saying goodbye, 2 seconds ago. Anyway. Okay. So what's next? You've got your basics done. You're moving your way through red maps. What's next? You've got a couple of bits of currency. The next 2 major upgrades are going to be the Garukhan's flight. They're going to straight up give you a huge chunk of survivability. So from 2,800 health to 3,290. These things usually, they are a tier 1 rarity. They do have a roll range, so make sure that you're trying to get as close to 40 dexterity as you can on them. it doesn't matter if they're corrupted. You can always use the crafting bench to set the links and sockets. It does not cost a lot. Also at this stage, go ahead and grab Rumi's concoction. Go ahead and grab Glassblower's Baubles. The Rumi's concoction is going to give you up to 12% attack block chance. Because I just show you that we have really low attack block, we do want to make sure that that 12% or 11% in this case is going to straight take that damage off of us. Because it's a granite flask, we do want to take that and replace our granite flask with it. And because we just lost the critical strike chance mod right here, we do want to go ahead and make sure that we put it back. Too low. There we go. If you're already spending a divine on the boots, before that, go ahead and grab yourself an Astramentis. This amulet, all of that majiggering that we had to do with jewels just now, with balancing our intelligence, balancing our strength, all of that was because this amulet, Hyrri's Truth, it doesn't have any of that. Also, by the way, when you equip this thing, don't turn on the precision. Side note. So go ahead and grab yourself an Astramentis ASAP, because it won't make your dexterity number go up, but it will make your life easier, because you're going to start being able to pull out all of that weird strength and intelligence rolls. The strength that we had to pick up on our tree over here to balance it out, the intelligence that we have on our ring over here to balance it out, all of the maneuvering that we had to do with the jewels, all of that gets solved with this guy. It does have a roll range between 80 to 100 on the explicit, and the implicit has a roll range of 10 to 16. Again, you can bless orb your implicit, so if you get one that's plus 10, roll it to plus 16, no problem. Make sure that you do get something that's at least 90 or 92 plus for the explicit though, because those roll ranges, they do matter. And if you get one that's 80 all attributes, it will be worse than the Hyrri's Truth. On these things, again, you're investing a little bit of money. You're now able to afford something like the intrinsic catalysts. Go ahead and raise that. We're at 115 to all attributes. And voila, plus 20%. Don't forget to anoint this thing. Again, at the point that you're able to afford this, if you're in the middle of the league, this thing is like 20 chaos, 15 chaos, whatever, you can slap the Divine Judgment on it. If you're in the beginning couple of days, oils are going to be much cheaper, and you're going to be able to afford the silver oil that this requires. And you're going to grab the passive point for, you know what, let's go ahead and step over here to Cassia. Anoint items. You can do this in your stash. You're going to grab Shaman's Domain. So we're at 1500, 1510. So not a huge difference in dexterity, but look at what happened to our strength and intelligence. You're also going to be at the point where you're able to pick up split personality jewels. Jewels are really strong on the build. So again, day 1, 2, 3, these things are going to be really expensive, but look at what happens. Plus 20 dex. from just switching out something that says +5. The way that the split personality works is the further it is away, you see this highlighted route, this orange pathway, the further it is from the start of the tree, the more it scales this +5 and +5 dexterity and +5 life. Right now it's giving me +40 flat dexterity. That's getting scaled by all of the other percentages that are on our tree. These guys, the Lights of Meaning, the guide recommends +4 chaos resistance in the finished build. While you're scaling there, before you're there, go ahead and get one that says +2 to all attributes. Bro, I'm recording a video. And you can go ahead and stick it over here, and that's going to be that much better for you than even the flat one. Okay? And we haven't picked up all of the points that we can in this radius. The synthesis belt, again, look for a roll range on this thing that is 13 to 15. There will be scammers that will add T2's dexterity implicit, and then they will add intrinsic catalysts on top of it to make it look like it's T1. Don't fall for that. Look at the range. It has to be 13 to 15. Go ahead and grab an orb, a blessing, and roll that sucker up to 15. Again, we're investing a divine or two on this base. Let's go ahead and grab a couple of intrinsic catalysts. As you can see, it didn't take 20 of them to get it to 20%. Let's grab our Deafening Associates of Sorrow and smack this thing. We are looking for life and resistance. So a good life roll and 1 resistance is going to be good enough for us. This is pretty good. I don't really like that mana recovery rate. I'm going to click it one more time. We don't want that strength anymore because our Astramentis solves that for us. Again, we're investing, a divine or 2 into this base now. So clicking this thing 3 or 4 times more, absolutely worth it. What did this hit? Wow, other than the tier 1 life, this thing is absolutely trash. I don't think that I'm going to keep this because, again, I do want at least some kind of resistance, and I can craft life. Chaos is nice. So, this belt is now giving us 18% dexterity, it's giving us 64 flat dexterity, and it's giving us 31% chaos resistance and a little bit of life. Compared to our old belt, let's see what happens. Resistance is dropped, life went up, dexterity went up a lot. Okay? So we're going to incrementally scale these things. Let's continue on. You're going to be able to get brutal restraints. The numbers are what matter to us, and these numbers are going to determine what are the rolls on the nodes that we take. Do any of them give us dexterity? Look at this. This one gives us dexterity. Bro, something about this cluster. This only has 1 dexterity node in something that we are actually trying to hit. It's not a very good jewel for us. This one is able to hit dexterity over here. It's able to hit dexterity over here. I'm going to say something controversial. The fact that it has projectile damage over here is irrelevant. If this node didn't already benefit us, I would drop it. It has flat dexterity that we can pick up over here, and poisons inflict damage on you faster. Who cares? So, let's go ahead and get our beef back. We no longer need that strength. And let's go ahead and get 2 points back over here. And we are going to go ahead and path right up to this flat dexterity, because a dexterity stacker is what we are. Now we're at 1800. 1800 is where you're comfortable destroying red maps. So let's go ahead and grab a red map, Canyon. It's got more monster life. It's got extra lightning damage. This thing is corrupted so that, you know, we can quote unquote get the progress. And this is without changing our rings yet. My god, I should definitely look at this first. So before you walk into a map after you change your gear, check your resistances. We have way too much cold resistance. And the easy way to fix that is on this Horda crafting station. We grab this thing that says it gives us cold resistance. We type in cold, and we click on a thing that says change a modifier that grants cold resistance into a similar tier modifier that grants fire resistance. And what that's going to do is that it's going to change this 38, which is tier 3, into a 36, which is tier 3, but for fire. After you do your gear adjustments, make sure that you check your defenses and that you are actually balanced. Now that we have a Rumi's concoction, now that we have much more dexterity, we're able to progress much faster. And, oh, I need to turn on my filter. I'm so sorry, guys. Uber strict. Jesus. Sure, why not? Are there monsters here? There they are.
My mana is spent.
So, we're still on a 5-link, and notice we're moving in a diagonal so that things don't hit us. This is a fairly difficult, corrupted map that we can use for our progression. And we're able to survive in most situations without issue. We have yet to adjust our rings. We are level 85 at this point, right? And we still have quite a few upgrades to make as far as jewelry goes. I should not picking up all of those shrines. It's gonna ruin my showcase, like POEGuy says, right? So, if you notice, I do keep trying to get the ice golem up, and this is the reason why. Oh, these guys are possessed. Like butter. Oh, like bleeding butter. So, simple as that. Alright, let me call that person back. we'll be back. Okay, so let's round this out with rings. People are going to tell you that you have to have these rings. The 7% dexterity synthesis ring that is going to be impossible to get. You're going to make yourself crazy thinking that you can get it. You really don't need it. You have a bunch of different options for rings. You can get a base that has fractured all attributes, and this ring was made exactly the same way as I made the other rings earlier, with just deafening essences of sorrow. You can get yourself a ring that's mirrored, that players drop from the, reflecting mist that they run into in maps, and they'll be like, oh, this is a random trash thing, and you'll be like, this thing has 130 to 30, 170 life, and 32 all elemental resistances. So you can run across these kinds of things, and you can run into bases that are absolutely wild. What I wanted to highlight was that as of this league, or as of the last league, is of 3.26, this Bound by Destiny jewel is going to exist. This is going to have a cost of probably a divine or two in the first few days. At least in 3.26, they were not super rare. I am going to reserve my judgment and say this is controversial. If they do end up being really expensive, don't look at it until you're at the end game. If they do end up being relatively affordable, do go ahead and grab it. Get yourself 2 rings that are Redeemer influenced, and you know what we're going to do with them? Yep, we're going to go ahead and smash a couple of essences into them. And again, all we need is a resistance, the dexterity, and we can craft life. Goodbye. How many essences do I have left? So at least start these used to be about 32 divine. Interesting. So it's not too bad to spend a couple of chaos on these. Let's go ahead and attribute catalyst, because these rolls do matter. This is the whole reason why we're getting these at T1. And then we can slot in the Bound by Destiny jewel instead of one of the rares that we had on our tree. Again, I'm still at level 85. So far, I'm only scaling with changing out gear and equipment. The investment that we've made at this point on day 1, 2, and 3 would be probably in the 10 maybe divine range. Later into the league, week 2, you've spent maybe 2 divine on everything that we just did. Anyway, we're at 2000 dexterity. This is the part where the build is pretty much more or less complete. I took a bunch of shortcuts because I'm level 85. At this point, you would be level 90, 94, 95, whatever. just drop this, right? Sure. Let's do 16.5 Canyon Map again on a 5-link on 4-linked Frenzy. That sounds wrong. What does this do? Wow, higher toughness, higher rewards. In case you guys weren't aware, in 3.26 they added 16.5 maps, originator maps, that are much more tough, but they give special bonuses, so I can, and they can roll T17 modifiers. Anyway, I'm going to focus on the map. Hopefully at some point I'm going to add music over the top of this. Tanky as a mother trucker. Well, the reason that things are taking a while to die is they have 213% more monster life. And we'll see how we're going to deal with the boss, because he does chaos damage and bleeding. And he does 51% increased attack speed and 42% increased damage, so pretty likely that we're gonna die. But hopefully we'll be able to progress. Don't care.
My mana is spent.
Bad, bad. Okay. So again, we want to make sure that we're continuously moving. My flask, or my dash, is always on cooldown. And on a 5-link, we're getting fairly decent performance in maps that we have no business being in. And here's the map bosses. Drop our Frost Bomb to debuff them. Nice. Sustain. And that's the showcase at 2000 Dexterity, level 85, balanced resistances. This is something that you can expect from an okay variation on the build. Basically, you're mostly following the guide, and by this point you've invested. In the early days, this is looking like maybe a 10 divine investment. You would be looking at your next upgrades as the Rare Body and the Watcher's Eye. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have time enough today to actually craft a Rare Body or to present it.